What's good, y'all? Um, so, where do we want to start off here? Um, are you really confused, or are you just afraid of what happens when the excuses run out? Depends upon what your definition of confusion is. Um, Confusion could be anything from dreams to goals to aspirations to mindset. Could be anything of those. Um, And then the second part was, are you just afraid of what happens when the excuses run out? So, excuses are just stepping stones that not get you to your target goal of whatever it is. If it's business, if it's self-improvement, if it's 9 to 5, if it's whatever. Excuses are stopping your end goal and continuing the non-disciplined actions that will not lead you to your end goal. Many people have different representations and perspectives of excuses. It just depends upon what your life is, how your cards are playing out, the hand that you've been dealt. Because at the end of the day, we all are on this journey. We all are trying to achieve, unlock, understand everything about oneself. And whatever it is, it could be anything. Could be from positive to negative to building a goal-directed mindset, to believe the aspirations, the common sense, the accusations that were told to you, because everything is based around perspective, illusion, and I think understanding. But I could also break that down for more information, because everything is an illusion. Everything is a visual representation of how we see the hand, the life, the deal that has been played. What was the last part of the question? You're just afraid of what happens when excuses run out. Excuses just stop you from your end goal, make you not continue, make you not do anything to really achieve the progress, potential, understanding that you want to achieve. What's up, pal? Alright. Ready for this plane to pass? Nobody ever saw you what you're building. Would you still build it? Yes, because if you want to build a legacy, if you want to build a business, if you want to build anything in life, it takes dedication, discipline, understanding, the ability to do something that you know that you cannot do, and just it takes time, it takes progress, and it takes the potential that has not been built. It doesn't matter if nobody really sees what you build, because as long as it fits in your eyes, your belief, your understanding, it can build and rebuild a frame that anything is possible. Nothing is unperceivable. Nothing is unattainable, because you can attain anything. You can attain wealth, prosperity, progress, mental understanding. You can obtain whatever the hell you want. It just depends on what it is you're trying to obtain. Who would I be without my distractions? This is where we get interesting. Your potential. You would be limitless. You would be unstoppable. You would be you, your actual self, without distractions. Distractions are just pointless commodities to waste time, to waste energy, distractions are useless. Unless if you're trying to get something out of that distraction, then I totally understand that. But, like, there's no point to keep that distraction in there. Run, Forrest, run. She's running faster. That's okay. Okay. If you always had a voice, what would it say about you? Try harder, do harder, become more. See the vision for where you see fit. Do something to unlock the potential that is unused. Become the better version of yourself to where you see fit. Because voice, our mind, our bodies are weapons. If we don't weaponize our own self, what is the point of weaponizing anything within oneself? Because without a visual representation of where we see our life, where we see our cards, where we see the belief that has been dealt to us by ourselves, that's all that matters. Because, like, whatever happens behind closed doors happens behind closed doors. Not even my parents. I mean, my parents said that they fully understand that, but I don't believe that they fully understand what I meant, what I was saying when I was implying that. And they might never know. Your friends may never know. Your parents, your relatives, they may never know until they see the progress, the work, the potential that is there for the taking for you. Alright, next question. Wait. We are getting deep. If you died tomorrow, who would you regret not understanding you? Everybody. My parents, my friends, my relatives, everybody and everything. Because nobody understands you besides yourself. Nobody understands you besides your past self. And that's the worst thing about regret, is it's within everything, within everyone. It just depends upon what it is, how deep, how strong, how potent it is that you feel it in your bones, your 3 layers of skin, you feel it within yourself. And regret can be from anything, from talking to females, to creating business opportunities, to building a mental frame where we can do anything, be anyone. Regret is, I think, one of the worst ones. Is who would your 80-year-old self want to become, and who does your 7-year-old self want to achieve? Because it's all about the aging of time, the progression of the world that is perceived by. And whatever that so-called what is, whatever that frequency is, we have to understand that that is only for us to know. It can be for other people to know, but just, they might not fully understand the bigger picture to where you see fit. Which it can be a lot harder to build or realize that framework or that frequency, because it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes discipline to become that version, to understand that self. And that goes within everything, and anything is that. What else? How much time? Damn, it's only been 10 minutes. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. What is something your old self is begging you to start taking seriously? I would say taking business as how you see fit, taking the opportunities that has been dealt, that has been used by the power of you. Because like at the end of the day, everything is just opportunist based, decision based, and action based. That's pretty much all that this game of life is. I could talk more detail, but like still, like that's pretty much all that it is taking myself for me, not for anybody else besides me. And without these actions, without these decisions, without these understandings, it can all go to shit. It can all hit the fan. You're still fighting to get that. Yes, of course. I don't like that. What the hell that is? Alright. Next question. When you're alone, no phone, no music, do you like who you are? Yes and no, because who you are is such a profound and descriptive term that not even everybody knows who they is until the true reality and true colors play in this game of life, because behind closed doors, that's all what we are. And that's our decisions. Oh, that's our actions and that's our words. And that's pretty much all that we is. Whoa. Are you living your life or just playing a character that is easier to explain? Depends on what your definition of living life, and depends on what the definition of the character that you are playing. It could be anything. It could be a workaholic to a person that trusts their word and only their word, and a person that believes what they're doing is right for them, that is not right for anybody else besides you. Character and belief are two different things. I think of them as two different subcategories. But depends on how you look at your own definition, your own mental frame of how you see those definitions. And living your life, that could be anything. And just playing a character, that is just a fictional story that we tell ourselves on a daily basis. And that's just thinking about that for when reading over that question. So maybe 5 seconds. But a lot of you pretending that you were fine. I have been in front of parents. I've been doing that for at least a good 18 years to about 15. Friends, been doing that ever since I got to know people. Even though it's men's mental health, but like, just fine is different than okay and bad and negative and positive. It's multiple different spectrums within those different words. Depends upon the tone, depends upon the understanding of how they know you. What happened if you stop asking how, and how would you start becoming the person who figures it out? at the end of the day, it's just how and studying are two different perspectives. And whatever that so-called perspective is, whatever that understanding is, it's for us to know. Could be for our parents to know, could be for our siblings, could be for our friends or relatives. It's mainly only for us to know. And once we dig deeper within that relationship within ourselves, we can know why we're doing this, who we're doing it for, and what we're trying to achieve within that dream, aspiration, or goal. Could be anything. Alright, how much time we got? Dude, Mr. Ant, are you gonna go save your friend? No, what do you... Stop. Okay, pal. You do you. If everything in life was a test, what's the lesson you keep failing? I'm glad I'm not driving right now. Cause let's see what color plate we got. Yup, that's a swatter. What's up, brother? Oh, that's terrible. Come on. Give me about 2 minutes. Checking something real quick. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. What's the lesson I keep on failing? Making content to where I see fit. Using my story, using my perspective, using my evidence-based tools to based around everything. What's up, Big Bertha? Hey, we can go what's good, that's sad. Ooh. Not taking a day as I get it. Not doing what I say I will do. Not acting on what I say I will act on. Not thinking the way I want to think. Not becoming the version I want to become. Bro, get out of here. Who do you need to become in order to protect the life you're chasing? Better version of myself. Better version that sees every opportunity as an outcome. That sees every setback as a progression point, a stepping stone, understanding of how that stepping stone got me from point A to point B. That's failure, that's progression, that's optimism, that's understanding, that's framework, that's frequency, that's everything. What I mean by everything, I mean fucking everything. Alright, so those are the questions. Now let's go to quotes. Ooh, if you're waiting for comfort, you'll miss the doorway that leads to greatness. Comfort is inevitable. Comfort ends. Greatness never stops. Greatness is a progression point, a stepping stone, a new understanding, a new path, a new frequency, a new side quest. Every mask you wear protects you from the pain, but also stops anyone from seeing your potential. Okay, every mask is a different leader of greatness, a devil, a opportunity, a demon that we all face. And that mask could be anything from pain to disbelief to distrust to dishonesty to, I mean, those two words are the same thing, but it could be from anything, from with girls to relationships to friendships to whatever the hell. A mask is a mask, and that is a version of yourself that you will never get back. It's a version of yourself that you cannot deal the damage that has been done to you, and you cannot take back the words that were said. Pretty much to sum it up, as I'm watching a boat take off from the boat launch, which I wish I was on this boat, because that looks like a nice boat, and that looks like a very good fast boat. Next one. You won't be remembered for the noise you made. You will be remembered for the truth you carried. Noise is just a point in time where it's cut off from the rest of the world. Noise is just noise in the distance, music, words, accusations. Versus you'll be remembered by the truth you carried. Truth is everything. Truth is responsibility. Truth is honesty. Truth is disbelief. Truth is who you are versus who you were yesterday. Versus who you were a year ago. Versus who you were 10 years ago. Because we only grow within a day or a decade. We can't take growth as an opportunity. We have to take growth as setbacks, as new pressure points, as new understandings. Because without growth, we are nothing. We are just dust floating in the wind. And we are just different from what we are to what we should be. Because should is what could be, and could is what we are not. And without being nothing, we're still something to someone. We're still something to become. We're still something to grow on, to learn, to achieve, to become. Because greatness is found in the darkest of times. Understanding is formed within the apocalypse of our own mind. Because without us, what are we? Who are we? That was a good one. That was a really good one. Discipline isn't punishment, it's protection from your future self. Discipline is just a mindset, a goal-directed perspective of what you could be, what you are, and what you should be. Could and should are the same things, but it's different on how you look at it in your own terms. Because discipline is different thoughts and different aspirations and different goals and different perspectives. Discipline is just what you could be and what you should be. That's pretty much all you need to know. Also, you have your own perspective and definition of discipline, so it depends on how you look at it. Make sure you guys are not staring at my clock. Yeah, we go for it. see if this is contraband. I'm gonna get my twins on the fucking legal section. Alright. That's pretty much really all I have for this video, so I'm just gonna put a random ass title. So if you clicked on this video and you stayed till this point, subscribe if you want to. If not, you probably will never see myself again. If you do want to subscribe, turn on that notification bell, because I could be posting 2 videos today, could be 3 videos a week, could be 10 videos a week. I have no idea. Depends upon how disciplined I am with recording a video, with posting a video, and not being as self-conscious as what I should be. Because self-conscious is just a curiosity of my conscious mind trying to defeat my belief that I'm not better, but I am worse.